Does anyone have anything that they'd like to say to our audience to start off this podcast?
I'm tired.
Nice to meet you. Tired.
Burnt out, guys. I don't know how much more of this I can do.
Started a new job this week.
Hey, same. We work at the same place now.
We do.
Congratulations,
We work at...
Yeah, I can't let anyone know where we work now.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt weird about it. I was like, I don't really want to post that I, work here.
Okay. Don't. Let it be your secret.
It's, specific, you know? I don't need anyone visiting us.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to come up to me and be like,
right?
Hey.
Yeah.
Be like...
There's a difference between me being like, I work at Best Buy, because there's a bunch of Best Buys, but I can't be like, oh, I work at... You know?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. What is going on outside? Are people dying?
You know what? Yeah.
Bad joke
New York
to
City.
Awful joke
it's
to
a
make.
bad
joke
week to make that joke.
It's a rough week in the city.
It is.
Bodega owner.
They caught him.
Well, bodega store clerk
called it in, and he turned himself in, the suspect.
Yeah.
I will say, if you're considering moving to New York City, don't.
Just for now. For now.
I feel like the city's got enough people. I don't know.
Yeah, don't in general.
Yeah.
Stay out.
Stay out. If you're not from here, good.
We don't want you.
That's right.
Go to LA.
You can visit, just don't move here. Okay?
Damn, son.
You're displacing natives.
The three of us are having a hard enough time finding a suitable apartment anyway, as it is.
That's right.
Starting to do our search.
All these Montanans.
I know, right? Get out of here, you Ohioan.
You Ohioites.
I'm Jacob Wade.
I'm Jeremy Van Suarez.
I'm Logan Riley Bruner.
And welcome to the Packcast. Let me do some
housekeeping.
Episode 59.
Yes, that's
59.
Right. Woo! Guys, we're going strong.
10 away from the nicest episode.
Yeah. This from past week...
Episode. We end at episode 69.
69, we're done!
There's no point in beating a dead horse.
That's right.
Right? That's the saying?
Yeah, that's the saying. In housekeeping, this past week we released the Year 2 interview for collective member Soren Alf-Correa. That's right. So if you haven't seen the video yet, go to our YouTube channel and watch the whole thing, or check out the little clips that we post on Instagram and TikTok.
It's like a little short film.
Yeah.
Yeah, these interviews are becoming short films.
Yeah.
And we have a couple coming up that I'm like, that one's going to be long.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels good to be making content and distributing that content and growing as a collective and a company.
You know what we need? We need the exclamation sound from Animal Crossing.
Okay. I don't think there's any other news Black Wolves related, really. As usual, keep an eye out for the Packcast and other related content. And follow and subscribe if you haven't already.
Check out Bellhop. They're cool.
Oh, we love our friends over at Bellhop Productions.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been posting some funny podcast clips from...
Their podcasts are real great.
Bells and Whistles.
Yeah.
I love it.
True that.
Yeah.
I'd love to keep this week short. We say that every week, but we don't have a ton to talk about.
Let's get into it.
Let's get right into it. Let's dive into the thing that Jeremy is the most excited about. Jeremy,
yes, please.
You want to take us away on this one? I'm wearing a shirt in honor of it.
Oh, I was like, what?
In what way? Oh.
In you and I, there's a new land, okay? There are new lands coming to us, baby. Kingdom Hearts 4 has been announced.
I'm so excited!
What? That made me say...
what?
Because we waited so long for any trailer, announcement, smidgen of detail for Kingdom Hearts 3. We waited 10 years from Kingdom Hearts 2 release. And now it's been 4? 3? 5 years?
No. We were seniors in college when it came out.
3 years.
3 years. And we're already getting Kingdom Hearts 4 announcements.
Well, and I think the reason Jeremy's surprised is because I thought that Kingdom Hearts 3 was, in pretty much every way.
I'll get you, and I'll look like a bloody accident.
However, some of the recent things that I've seen and that have been discussed in terms of Kingdom Hearts 4 have me going,
Why?
I mean, that trailer, you'll be excited for this.
Let's hear it. I didn't watch the trailer.
It seemed to show off a forest floor, and in the corner of the frame, there looked like there was a little foot of an HEAT. So we might be getting Endor in Kingdom Hearts.
Well, that makes sense. For Disney to own Star Wars now, so...
My only request is that I don't have to watch an entire music video that you put into your game. #Frozen.
Yeah, listen, Let It Go was already old hat by the time Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. Really didn't appreciate that segment, guys.
I know you didn't play Kingdom Hearts 3.
I watched Jeremy play it a good deal.
And I don't know if you remember, but they literally had the entirety of Let It Go just in the middle of the Frozen
It was a cutscene.
Like frame for frame recreation in Unreal Engine 4.
I mean, there was 1 or 2 moments of Sora being like, but then it would just be like right back to...
Yeah.
Elsa
Plus, you already sang that song, you know? What is she, rehearsing?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Are we
in the mirror.
Again?
Yeah.
But yeah, this new Kingdom Hearts installment seems to be the beginning of a new saga called the Lost Masters Arc.
Exciting.
I mean, spoilers for Kingdom Hearts 3?
No, it's a trailer, dude.
It's been 3 years, yeah, but to talk about 4...
Please.
We
No,
need
talk
to
about
talk a little bit about 3.
time.
Anyone who hasn't played 3 by
Is not
now...
gonna play it.
Yeah.
Get on that. It's like $10 usually at every... Anyway.
I haven't played it. I have no interest in playing it.
Whatever. We just want you in the cult, you know?
You can play 1 and 2 and then look up the plot of 3.
That's very funny.
Kingdom Hearts 4 finds Sora in Quadratum, which looks very much like a recreation of Shibuya. And in the trailer, there's mysterious narration. If this isn't the world you long for, don't despair. You can always go to another one. Your options are limitless. And a giant dark side Heartless appears in Quadratum, which is like very classic Kingdom Hearts, first boss in every single game.
Sora's Shadow.
And Sora looking like the K-pop idol of our dreams with some longer hair and realistic human feet and shorts that go past his knees. He's running out there. He summons his Keyblade. He uses it as a grappling hook. He's sliding down falling buildings. He's summoning drills.
It looks cool.
It does look cool.
And I think that's the thing that I didn't like about Kingdom Hearts 3 is I think there was never a moment during Kingdom Hearts 3 that I was like, this is cool.
Thank you.
I gotta disagree with you, man.
You can disagree with me all you want, but I think every single world I arrived at, I was like, oh, Toy Story World. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get to explore Andy's backyard, and maybe I'll get to fight against like some of Sid's creations that become Heartless. Oh, we're going to a mall that's never appeared in any Toy Story movie, and we're fighting enemies that have never appeared in any Toy Story movie. Oh, Monsters Inc. I mean, this could be exciting. There could be some new aspect. I'm just playing the movie again, and I'm not even going to get to fight any of the guys who are the enemies in the movie. Oh, a Frozen World. Maybe we'll get some... I'm just going to watch a music video. Okay. Oh, Tangled World. This one's kind of fun. This one... Oh, another music video? Well, maybe there'll be one...
Well, there wasn't a music video in Tangled.
Didn't they do,
They did the whole,
Festival of Lights.
Yeah, but they don't, sing.
I thought they sang during that.
I don't think so.
I
And at last I see the light, that song?
Yeah.
I don't think they sing that in Tangled. I think Frozen's our only music video.
Okay.
But there are some, like, one-for-one recreations of movies, but that's always kind of been Kingdom Hearts' thing, that you, like, re-experience the story along with it, you know?
Sure, but I think the difference between, like, 3 and, I think specifically 2, the world that I go back to over and over is, like, the Mulan world. Like, there are distinct moments that are like, this is fresh.
Yeah.
This is completely new. This was not in the movie.
There were a lot more one-to-ones in 3.
100%.
And
there were less worlds.
And there were less worlds, yeah.
Less time to explore those worlds because we only visited them once.
Mm-hmm.
And then less, like, creativity when it came to... Like, even Hercules. Hercules, for the first time, we got Olympus Coliseum. We got, like... Olympus?
Oh, Mount Olympus.
Olympus, but it was a one-to-one recreation of him fighting the Titans at the end of the Hercules movie, which hasn't been the experience of the Hercules worlds up until that point. Olympus Coliseum in 2 was an entire underworld with a new character from Final Fantasy, Auron, and the Coliseum, and it was super cool. One was like a little bit of Herc's training, but also like past him being trained, so it was more just like fighting the Coliseum.
Okay, alright.
Yeah. It was,
Alright, this isn't a shit on Kingdom Hearts 3 segment, though. This is a let's get pumped for Kingdom Hearts 4.
I've got a question for Kingdom Hearts 4. Do you think that there's a possibility that any Marvel characters will show up?
I think it's possible. I think it'd be hard, but I definitely think they could do like a Battle of New York kind of thing.
I'm just wondering because it's like we already have a realistic creation of like Shibuya, so I don't know if they're gonna keep on going like because Marvel is very like quote unquote grounded, right? It's real places, real locations. Like if anything, I think maybe like Wakanda would be cool.
Okay.
I feel like maybe Guardians of the Galaxy might be cool.
That might be interesting. If you meet the Guardians, if like the gummy ship becomes like kind of
oh my gosh, yes, I didn't even think of that. I am really
or the Falcon.
I'm really hoping for. I mean, Star Wars. I mean, we've been wanting that forever. I mean, a Keyblade lightsaber would just be so sexy.
Yeah.
I'm also really hoping for an Encanto world, just because
agree.
I feel like even if the location is just like the house itself, behind every door could be an entire world.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's also just like, there's so many of those family members that could be your co-op partner. Like, Luisa has her powers of strength.
Yeah. Isabella has her flower power.
Yeah,
that
little
can
kid
really
has
be
his
explored.
animal thing.
Yeah, he can summon animals and have them jump out and attack.
Yeah. I'm also really hoping for Coco.
That'd be
the whole land of the dead. Just seems like it would fit so well in Kingdom Hearts, especially with
Luca would be fun.
Yeah, especially with at the end of the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, it seems like Donald and Goofy have traveled back into the Hercules world, into the underworld to ask help from Hades.
To try and travel to a different like dimension.
Yeah,
has been lost.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing the whole multiversal.
Yeah. Because in the Quadratum, how it's explained to this new, not necessarily new character. This isn't her first appearance, but for a lot of people, there's a character named Strelitzia who's being reintroduced in Kingdom Hearts 4, and she says
Union Cross, yeah?
She's from Union Cross, the mobile game spinoff, and she says to Sora, "To you and I, Quadratum is a sort of afterworld." So I think it would be cool if Donald and Goofy are like traveling through like different fictional underworlds
to try and
find a way to Sora, and I just feel like Coco would fit right into that.
That would,
and I would like to see a Luca world as well.
I said kind of as a joke, but kind of seriously, I'd love to see an Up world. I think it'd be just really fun to see like all the dogs as Heartless, and like to have to try and escape.
What with Mr. Friedrichsen?
He could be fun.
Kevin.
I know.
Squirrel. That's not a squirrel.
I know.
Heartless.
Collective member Mike said he would like to see an Incredibles world. I think there should just be more Pixar inclusion because those worlds seem so prime for Kingdom Hearts exploration.
Give us more worlds with more interesting stories that are not just one.
Remy and his little rat world with the food.
We've already had Remy. Remy made an appearance in 3, but he was really a cooking mechanic. It was like, which was fine. It was like,
that's cool.
You bring him supplies and he makes things that give you power-ups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which worked for the character.
Or replenish hearts.
I think Kingdom Hearts 3 took a good step forward in terms of world design. Not saying that they succeeded at every turn, but just the fact that it wasn't so much of like room to room to room, and more it was like big area to big area. So I hope we continue with that, but we get more interesting level design. Because I do agree with you, worlds like Frozen, Big Hero 6, Pirates of the Caribbean were...
I forgot about Big Hero 6, and Pirates of the Caribbean I didn't like because it was all ship combat. It was just like an entire world built around like you're in a pirate ship, hit X to fire, hit X to fire.
It's classic.
I'm sick of like Kingdom Hearts 2 did Pirates of the Caribbean, but it was mostly like, oh, would you like to sail to this new location? Great, sail there and then fight a bunch of people on land, get back on the boat, sail someplace else.
I feel like I remember you really liking the Pirates of the Caribbean canon shipping. Yeah, no,
maybe.
It might have been before.
Maybe in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, you like just get to the
when
world.
When I first happened, I was like, whoa! And then the second time, I was like, oh, we're doing this again.
We're continuing to do this. Great. Yeah, the world I had the most problem with was Toy Story. Because it was like, yes, super massive open world.
The world was cool, but it just had nothing to do with
Toy Story,
yeah.
It was like, let's go to a mall because, and travel around the mall and see some characters.
I always have to ask, how much of this is actually Square Enix, and how much of this is Disney being like,
this is what you can and
you can't do this, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine Tetsuya Nomura being like, oh yeah, you know what will really add to Kingdom Hearts lore? Let it go.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest, like, gripe against Square is I don't see Disney being like, you have to use these worlds and you can only have people visit them once. Like, I feel like that was a deliberate design choice to only let you go to the world one time and then move on versus Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, where it was like, you went once, you left, got new powers, and then it was like, oh, hey, go back. You can now find a couple things that were left behind, and maybe there's some new objectives that, like, people need your help with some stuff.
But, well, in Kingdom Hearts 2, it was like, you go back to a world twice to, like, experience, like, two different stories. Kind of like. That's what I'm saying, like, how much of this is Disney, because they, no matter what they do with their worlds, whether you go back once, twice, 3 times, they have to go through Disney and be like, can we do this? Can we have an original character kidnap Belle? Is that okay? You know? So, I don't know.
We'll see.
I'm hoping Disney lets them take a bit more liberties.
Fingers crossed that it'll be a good game.
It'll be a good game.
From good games to good TV shows.
Hey, nice segue,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Stranger Things. Shall we talk about the new trailer that just dropped?
Absolutely.
Just dropped on Sunday?
Yeah.
My goodness.
This new season
After
looks...
a 24-hour live stream of the Creel clock. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. At the end of the hallway, it was counting down, right?
No. In Santa Monica, I believe, they
the
had a pop-up
wow.
that was
Cool.
The Creel clock, and like you could see people like walking by it as an actual pop-up, and then members of Hawkins' lab were like walking around it taking notes, and like
we love an interactive experience.
As the day went on, like the camera zoomed closer to the clock got louder, it started to get more distorted.
Hell yeah.
It was really cool.
That is what I like to see in story building.
Yeah, and it helps build hype behind the trailer that it's like 24 hours, we're gonna drop it. Watch the countdown, and that trailer did not disappoint.
Oh
No,
my goodness.
not at all.
Epic. This season looks epic. The cinematography looks next level. The CGI looks great. The story...
The plot looks incredible. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what journey our friends go on.
Yeah.
We have a new Dema person who is named Vecna.
Yeah,
right?
I believe I'm gonna check to ensure that it's been confirmed, but I saw Matt Mercer tweeting about it.
Yeah, and if anything, it's probably like a name like the kids give it. You know, like the creature in season 3 didn't have a name, but they named it the
Mind Flayer.
Mind Flayer. You know?
Everyone is saying that it's Vecna.
Can you explain again what Vecna is
Yes,
for our non-D&D
for our
members out
non-D&D
there?
folks, Vecna is from D&D. Check out the Legends of Vox Machina on Amazon Prime if you want to know a little bit more about Vecna. Vecna was also the main villain of Campaign 1 of Critical Role. Vecna is known as, I believe, the Unfallen? Vecna...
Ugh, ugly.
Yeah, Vecna is hideous. Vecna the Archlich, Vecna the Whispered One, the Undying King, the Chained God,
Oh god.
Lord of the Hand and the Eye.
There's too many words here that relate to the campaign that we're playing.
Yeah, Vecna is a human that becomes a lich. A lich is a human that is basically like beaten death. It's a wizard that becomes so powerful that it can destroy death. Vecna ascends to godhood. And once Vecna is finally struck down by the rest of the Pantheon, all that's left are Vecna's living right hand and left eye. And so Vecna's followers are trying to bring Vecna back using this hand and this eye.
Already thinking about how this fits into Stranger Things.
Yeah, right?
Vecna is horrifying. Vecna is devastating. Vecna is one of the few villains in all of D&D that has ever been capable of destroying the entire world. Vecna's fucking scary, and this new villain looks scary.
Yeah. Looks like a White Walker.
Yeah,
but like,
White Walker vibes.
But with all those vines, like, stretching off and the lower... Ugh!
I know.
So creepy.
Yeah.
So creepy. The, like,
scared.
skin... It's
the
very
beginning
giving me,
of the
like,
end.
Voldemort, like, just being born during Goblet of Fire vibes.
Yeah.
I know.
Looks very good. With it, we also have Max at Billy's grave, seeming to levitate.
Yep.
We've got a little bit of what we were talking of what I actually talked about in some interviews that I gave with Showbiz Cheat Sheet, #plug. It looks like we're growing up a little bit. We're having some of the characters dealing with high school problems. There's one shot of This makes me so sad to talk about. Mike and 11 roller skating together, and Will's like behind them, like the third wheel, just looking
classic
all
Will.
sad, like being like, I'm just the third wheel.
I'm just
older. He
the
doesn't have like, anyone
traumatized
to...
third
He's
wheel.
not like
I know, but he and 11 are kind of...
They're cool,
but they're not
but
together.
they're not.
We've got Mike and 11. We've got Lucas and Max, if they end up still being together, and even Gaten's character, Dustin and Susie. And also we have like
And
We also have
Nancy and Jonathan, and like everyone's got a couple, and it's like, who's there for Will? Who's there for Will? He just wants to play D&D with his friends.
And get over his trauma.
Get over his fucking trauma.
Oh, poor Will.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Lucas playing basketball now. We've got Lucas as a part of the Hawkins sports team. We've got some high school drama. We've got a new D&D DM.
I don't trust him.
You don't trust the new DM?
No.
The DM who was playing guitar in the Upside Down?
Oh, that's the same guy?
I think so.
I don't know. He looks creepy. I don't trust him.
Well, there you go. You're right to
Like
not
a
trust
bad
him.
vibe
You also
about-
see him in the end.
Oh, and then we had our
Bad
first
vibes
look at Freddy
Freddy
Krueger
Krueger?
himself, Robert Englund,
Oh.
with no eyes.
Oh,
looking
that was
creepy
him.
as heck. Yeah.
And we get,
Who?
11's not dead.
11's not dad, yes, and 11 with a shaved head.
Yes.
It looks like a...
The Duffers have confirmed that 11 is going to have that shaved head,
Again?
not just in flashbacks.
Ooh la la. Oui, oui.
I will also say, when Robert Englund was announced, he was announced as Victor Creel, and then
the
we
Creel
got the
house.
trailer for the Creel house, which seemed to show a father around a bunch of bodies of perhaps a murdered family.
Oh my goodness.
So
I can't wait for this season.
this season's going to be super exciting.
May what? 21st?
27th.
27th.
It's not that far away.
Very exciting.
Not that far away.
Very, very exciting. It's a little
Scary.
more than a month. Very scary. This is looking like a PG-13 season. This is
It's
not...
becoming less Stranger Things and more scary things, baby.
Yeah, I mean, they can't do the Goonies forever.
No,
You
yeah.
gotta grow up.
That's right.
I'm very excited.
Me too. Would you like to take us through the movies of the week?
Yeah, relatively short podcast this week. We're
That's
keeping
great.
it nice and concise. I do have a couple movies to talk about, so I'm going to try and get through these quickly, but maybe hit that 1.5 or that 2.0 speed in order to get through this as quickly as possible. First up, we have the a documentary that's releasing on Tuesday, April 19th on Netflix called White Hot, The Rise and Fall of Abercrombie and Fitch.
I have heard about this.
Yes, my mom watched the trailer with me, and she was super interested because she actually lived through like this period where Abercrombie and Fitch was very subtly and not so subtly
Racist.
incredibly racist. The practices that they had of basically like the people that they were hiring and the people that they were using as their models, they wanted everyone to be all American and hot, but what that really meant was
What?
Is that supposed to mean?
what it meant was blonde hair, blue eyes, and white. So,
Okay.
Interesting.
The CEO actually said at one point that they were like looking for that kind of look.
Right.
They ended up getting sued for discriminatory practices. They went all the way up to the Supreme Court, being sued by people who used to work for them who got fired because they
Nice.
didn't fit the brand.
Yeah, wow.
Good
for them.
The CEO also said, I think publicly, we don't want ugly people wearing our brand.
I do remember that.
Oh my god.
I-
I was like, we were like in high school when
Yeah, it was like,
that
don't say
started
the
to
quiet
happen.
part out loud. Like, we know that's what you've been subtly saying, but
My
you can't just say that.
No,
Yeah.
you can't just say that.
Jesus Christ.
So, that looks super interesting. It's directed by Alison Klayman, who's a female director. Go female directors directing stories about men being shitty
Yeah.
and take them down. The rest of the movies I'm going to talk about, I believe, are all coming out on Friday, April 22nd. So you'll be able to catch all of these the same day. First up in the animation world, we have a nationwide release from Universal Pictures called Bad Guys,
Duh.
which at first I thought looked kind of ridiculous.
I
but
thought
then
it looked kind of cool
then
from
it
the
looked
from the
cool.
beginning of it.
I watched the trailer. It is a movie about criminals, specifically the Big Bad Wolf, who's being played by Sam Rockwell, who try to turn good after a chance encounter with goodness. From the trailer that I watched, the wolf is trying to like steal an old lady's purse, but she trips, and so it looks like he catches her, and then he like helps her to her feet and is like
That
being
felt
all
good.
sarcastic. The thing
But
that
it gets
feels good
famous
is
off
her. No, it's her just looking at him and saying, "You're such a good boy. Like, thank you so much." And like the excitement
Cute.
that he gets from that of like, wait, like I don't have to be, just because I've been considered a bad guy doesn't mean that's all I can be with my life.
Yeah.
It looks like it actually has a nice heartwarming message.
Heck
Kind of
yeah.
that Zootopia, like
Yeah.
just because you've been labeled as something doesn't mean you have to be that. It's got a star-studded cast. We've got Sam Rockwell, Mark Maron, Craig Robinson, Aquafina, Anthony Ramos, and featuring Richard Ayoade, Zazie.
Zazie Bates.
I almost said
Bates.
Zazie Beats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Zazie Bates.
Zazie Bates, thank you, and Alex Borstein from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah.
And Family Guy.
And Family Guy, of course. It's being directed by Pierre Perifel. This is his first feature as a director. He directed the short film Bilby. And he's been a longtime animator working on Rise of the Guardians and Kung Fu Panda. And it's written by Ethan Cohen, who wrote Tropic Thunder and Men in Black 3. And Hilary Winston, who was a writer for Community, based on the books by Aaron Blaby. This looks super cute. Looks like a film for the whole family.
Nice.
And kind of in that inspiring, like I said, Zootopia way of like, you don't have to be what you've been labeled. Next up is one I wasn't very excited at first, but is getting rave reviews. People are saying this is actually a really incredible movie.
Okay.
And I think the most recent trailer really showed what the movie is about. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent comes out from Lionsgate on Friday, April
I love a
22nd.
good meta movie.
Yeah.
But a good meta movie that also has a plot, it appears. Originally, it looked like just Nick Cage goes to an island. Nick Cage playing Nick Cage goes to an island to, like, celebrate this guy's birthday. But from the last trailer we saw, it's Nick Cage gets invited to this billionaire's island for his birthday and then gets intercepted by the CIA.
Tiffany Haddish.
In order to stop this guy who's a drug kingpin from, like, taking over the world. Like, he has to work for the CIA. There's a bunch of meta humor of
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage
But they become
movies,
friends first.
But they become friends, and,
So,
like, how do you
conflict.
turn on the person that, like, has trusted you? The movie stars Nicolas Cage, Pedro Pascal as the billionaire, Ike Barinholtz, Neil Patrick Harris, and Tiffany Haddish. It's being directed by Tom Gormican, who directed That Awkward Moment. And he wrote alongside Kevin Etten, who was a writer for Workaholics for a little while.
Gotta stay fresh.
This looks fun. I'm honestly kind of delighted to see this movie. It looks like a really nice nationwide Nick Cage turn, a movie where he can be kind of wild and crazy and it won't seem super out there.
Right, because
He's kind of been memed for that.
Yeah.
You know?
And I've heard that there's a lot of like throws to all the movies that
I'm
he's
sure.
done. That
Yeah.
it's like it
It's a love letter.
I've heard from reviews that it's a true love letter to Nicolas Cage's career.
See, I
To like Leaving Las Vegas and like Ghost Rider, National Treasure, like he's been a star and he has said it publicly and I fully believe it. He's never phoned in a single role that he's been given.
Yeah.
He might have gotten out of debt using VOD movies, but he never like showed up with the attitude of
I'm a
just
star.
here for a paycheck. He
Mhm.
was always like, I'm here to
Committed.
work, I'm here to do a job that I'm gonna go for, and we're gonna have a great time. I really respect that. Next up, our final nationwide of the week is the movie that I'm the most excited about, actually. This comes from Universal / Focus Features, The Northman. Comes out Friday, April 22nd. A young Viking prince goes on a years-long quest to avenge his father's
I
murder.
love Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Ah, so great. I love a good hero's journey. This movie stars Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Claes Bang, Anya Taylor-Joy, Ethan Hawke, Bjork, and Willem Dafoe.
nice.
It's directed by Robert Eggers, who directed The Vitch and The Lighthouse. And it's written by him and Sean, who wrote Lamb, which is a movie that I know we were very excited to check out, but we haven't gotten the chance to see yet. The Northman looks just beautifully shot. The action looks incredible. There's a shot from one of the trailers where someone like throws a javelin at Alexander Skarsgård. He catches it and hurls it back. That looks epic. Anya Taylor-Joy has a line in the trailer that's, "You have the strength to break men's bones. I have the strength to break their minds." And I think that's just like chef's kiss, everything I want.
I wonder if there's a bit of like fantasy to this.
It feels like there's a little
Because I don't
bit
know
of,
if
like,
it's just like we are Vikings, but I wonder if there's a bit of like Vikings and maybe some witches.
I think she's got a little bit of magic in her.
Yeah, same thing with Bjork. Bjork
Yeah.
seems like the
Bjork is
oracle
a
kind of
seer,
role.
yeah.
Yeah.
That like, you will avenge your father like
I'll
vibe.
avenge you.
I will avenge you, father. I will save you, mother. I will kill you, Führer. I think it looks so good. I'm so excited for this. I'm a huge Robert Eggers fan. I need to see The Lighthouse still because I've heard it's his like best turn that he's ever done as a director.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also need to see it.
And I loved the Vitch, so I'm very, very excited. Turning from nationwides to some streaming services, first up, we have a documentary, which is a sequel to a film that came out a couple years back, The Biggest Little Farm, The Return. This is just a 30-minute continuation of the first documentary, directed by John Chester. Yeah, it's a quick little revisit. It's like, you saw us back then.
Where are
what
they
have we
now?
done since then?
Yeah.
It's a story
They've
of
expanded.
a husband and a wife who took this like uninhabited land and like basically brought in an entire ecosystem and have like really tried to revitalize the earth. I'm gonna change my order around a little bit because there's another Disney Plus doc that is also a nature doc this week called Polar Bear. It is directed by Alistair Forthagill and Jeff Wilson, who are both major nature documentary people.
Yeah.
Disney Plus and National Geographic have been trying to get us to care about the Earth for a long, long
Years.
time, and they're still going. This Polar Bear is a movie about polar bears and just the way that their habitats are being destroyed. Polar Bear is narrated by Catherine Keener, who's an incredible actress. And I'm very excited for both of those nature documentaries coming up. Coming to Netflix on Friday, April 22nd is Along for the Ride, the story of Auden, who goes to visit her father over the summer before college, and meets Eli, a fellow insomniac who helps her experience a carefree teen life that she never knew she wanted. A beautiful, like, romantic drama. Two people falling in love over the summer before college. We've gotten a lot of that from Netflix. Starring Emma Passero and Belmont Camille.
Camelli?
Camelli, and it features Samia, who's a lovely human being. We love Samia here. We've been bumping her music for years, ever since we met her back in high school. She's an incredible human and an incredible performer.
Check her out.
I got
She's
to
so
see
good.
her in Slut when they did it in the city.
OG
before it.
cast?
Yeah, OG
Nice.
cast. She's such a good actress. And I wish that I had gotten to see her in The Wolves because I heard that she was just fantastic in it. I'm always a promoter of Sammy. I think she's just an incredible... She's one of those humans that is like...
Incredible artist.
A great artist, but also like...
Incredible person.
Yeah, I met...
So sweet.
Meeting her, I was like, oh my gosh, you're so kind, and it would be so easy for you to be a horrible person because you come from stars. And like,
Well,
it'd be so easy for her to just be like...
Act like
I'm
she's
famous,
better than everyone.
yeah, but she
she's not.
doesn't. She's
Yeah.
super down to earth. She's super talented.
Yeah.
She released an EP recently, which was super great. You should go check that out. But yeah, I'm very excited for that. Next up, we're moving into our limiteds of the week. From Sundance Film Festival, we have Marvelous in the Black Hole, which is about a teenage delinquent who meets a surly party magician and attempts to navigate her dysfunctional life. So it's like a coming-of-age story. It stars Maya Chech, from Always Be My Maybe, an American Horror Story Roanoke, and Rhea Perlman, who was Carla Tortelli on Cheers. I was not a Cheers person, but...
She also is married to,
Ron Perlman?
No. Oh, yeah. Is she?
I don't know, but that was the name that
That's
I
a
thought you were
good-
going to go with.
That's a good guess. I thought she was married to, Danny DeVito. Yeah.
See?
And she
is married to Danny DeVito!
And they played husband and wife in Matilda, the movie.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome!
gosh.
Yeah.
And she looks super great in this. It's being directed and written by Kate Sang. This is her feature film directorial debut, so congratulations about that.
I was going to say that this sounds like the plot of No Way Home. That's why I was laughing. When
Teenage delinquent meets a surly
Far
party
From Home?
magician. Far From Home, yeah.
I mean No Way Home. No Way Home. Right?
Are you considering
Far From
Mysterio or
Home.
Doctor Strange the surly party magician?
Doctor Strange.
Okay.
I would consider both of them the surly
Yeah.
party magician. So,
Yeah, great.
but yeah, this movie looks super sweet. It looks like a great coming of age story. It looks very simple, but sometimes that's just what you need in a movie. We've got one more narration from the animated world, but definitely not in an anime or in a typical animation style. We have Charlotte, an animated movie about Charlotte Solomon, a German Jewish artist living in the south of France during World War II, who leaves Germany due to the Holocaust.
Yeah.
A lot of adult animated films coming
Yes,
out
which I'm
recently.
very
Interesting.
excited about. I like it a lot. It stars Keira Knightley, Brennan Bliffen, Jim Broadbent, Sam Claflin, Eddie Marson, Helen McCroy, Sophie Okonedo, and Mark
I
Strong.
love Mark Strong.
It's directed by Tahir Ranan, who directed Welcome to the Waynes, and Eric Warren, who directed a movie called Leap, and written by Eric Rutherford and David
Besmazgis.
Besmazgis.
Yeah,
Thank you,
probably,
David Besmazgis.
I don't know
It
either.
looks
you
really,
know?
it looks interesting. I'm always delighted by adult animation. I think it's a super interesting way to take the art form
Mhm.
that, especially this year at the Oscars, was kind of kicked down the stairs, where the presenters were like, "Oh, these are the movies that your kids drag you to go see." It's like,
Meanwhile, Flea is
Aw.
up there. And
yeah,
it's
not
like,
all animated movies are just children's movies.
Yeah.
Animation is an entire art form that has been crafted over years
so annoying,
and is
yeah.
really deserves the respect that
Don't be
it's
doing that shit.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid.
Our final movie of the week is one that I'm kind of excited about. It's a documentary called The Revolution Generation. It's about the fact that the millennial generation is here and ready to fight for our world. That over the cycle of life, that there are kind of 4 chapters in terms of generations, and the millennials are the 4th chapter, the revolutionaries, the fighters, the ones who get encountered by great obstacles and
Seems
have to
like
rise
that.
above.
Yeah.
This movie is directed by Joshua Tickle, who won the Sundance Audience Award in 2008 for Fuel, and Rebecca Harrell Tickle, who produced Fuel with him. It looks really interesting. It looks like a super interesting look at like March of Our Lives and the Women's March that happened on Washington, the fight that a lot of millennials have been in for water in... Why am I blanking on the location?
Flint,
Flint,
Michigan?
thank you.
I mean,
Which
not
is
just millennials, so
still
whole
happening.
community.
Yeah, but I mean, like the real drive that our generation had in being like, "Hey,
Yeah.
we really
With
need to get
social media
eyes on
pushing
this."
those
Mhm.
important topics to the forefront.
Yeah, and the fact that millennials kind of got labeled as the lazy narcissist generation, but in reality, we're the generation that
Or like woke
are stepping up
crybabies,
and trying to fight for change.
snowflakes.
If you think we're narcissists and all about ourselves and always think that we deserve a trophy because we got it as kids, who gave us those trophies as kids? Anyway, check out The Revolution Generation and all the rest of these movies. There are some more films that are located in the description below or in the comments. They're not on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+, so don't look there. But let us know if you're seeing any of these movies or any movies that you've seen over the past week. We'd love to know what you're seeing because we're watching some really cool stuff, and I'd love to hear about some of it.
Oh, thanks, Logan. Let me think. I started Iron Fist this past week on Disney Plus.
How is it?
Because I finished seasons 3 and 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nice.
Iron Fist is way different pace
I've
than
heard.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Marquise is in Iron Fist.
Marquise is in Iron Fist. I saw him in the first episode. Wild.
Wild.
It's always nice seeing a familiar face on my TV screen. So
Oh, yeah.
Marquise
You know?
Rodriguez is his last name. Yes, I'm not
yeah,
just making that
Marquise
up.
Rodriguez.
Marquise Rodriguez from When They See Us and PPAS, yes. And we did a movie together a long time ago called Total Freak that you can find on PBS. If you're ever looking for it, catch
Kids.
me as a very young actor.
Great. Awesome. I've been playing F1 2021 and
Excellent.
Elden Ring. So much fun, guys.
But so torturous.
Both games so
Yeah.
torturous, honestly. I mean, F1 2021 isn't even a game. It's a driving simulator. So
It is.
yeah. Good stuff though. I watched No Way Home again this week.
Nice. I gotta show my mom that one.
Yeah, so good. It's available for $6.99 on Apple TV.
Great.
If you want to rent it. Yeah. Nothing else really new that I've
Popping
been
out.
consuming. What about you, Jeremy?
Well, I've been kind of taking it easy on content just because I got my booster this past week.
You'd think that you'd be consuming even more content.
Yeah, right. But
You consumed a lot of sleep.
I consumed a lot of sleep, and I've been, starting new jobs, so I'm just running around everywhere. But I did find some time for some content. I watched the first episode of Severance.
I
it's
want to watch it.
amazing.
Yes, I've heard
I
it's
watched it
amazing.
with my mom and my dad, and they were both really into it.
Nice.
Very interesting. I definitely want to keep watching.
Nice.
I
Love Apple TV.
finished the Dropout. I know I
Nice.
talked about
Yeah.
being in the middle of the last episode last week, but literally the same day I watched the rest of it. Great show.
Oh, I started Inventing Anna. I don't know if I said
You
that
did
last
mention
week.
that last week.
I
yeah.
did? Okay.
Yeah, Amanda Seyfried is just such a great actor. Oh my
Incredible.
gosh, her performance in that last episode is so good.
I need to get down to the Lincoln Center Library so I can watch her in the way we get by.
Heck yeah, dude.
Ooh, oh, I bet.
Come on by.
Good.
Come on down to
Yeah.
Lincoln Center, man.
Why do I feel like I watched something else? I'm still watching Moon Knight. I watched a new episode last night. RuPaul's Drag Race, I'm still watching. I need to catch up on Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
wait for the whole season, I think.
That's it for me.
Oh, I watched the race too.
Oh, yeah. We watched the...
Good race.
The Australian Grand Prix at 1 o'clock in the morning.
See, I watched it the next day.
Yeah.
So, it was good.
What'd you think?
Congratulations, Charles Leclerc. My
That's great.
God.
But baby,
He
I know I'm
is-
not wearing the hat, but it
He's
just went with the
killing
outfit.
it this
But
season so far.
Charles, go.
At Red Bull!
Yeah, I saw that.
Max is pissed.
Yeah.
He's,
Big mad.
he's threatening to leave the team.
Really?
That's what I heard. And he was like, if y'all don't get your shit together,
I'll go to Mercedes.
I'll find someone who will.
Bye, Russell.
Yeah.
Actually, I
apparently-
think Russell's above in the points.
I don't think Mercedes would want Max. I think they'd stick with Lewis, and I don't know that a top team would take him. As sad as that
Dude,
sounds,
I feel like any team would be happy to have him.
But then they have to get rid of...
one of their drivers.
And they're not going to get rid of...
And I think Max has a reputation, whether earned or not, that he has an attitude problem.
Okay. That's very fair.
I'm excited for the next race, whenever it is.
Love you, Charles! You
Go
better
Charles.
work it this season, baby!
Yeah, he's doing so well.
I want to shout out Alex Albon, who did 60 laps on the same set of
What
tires.
the fuck, dude?
I
You're
know.
insane for that.
He said he wouldn't have pitted if he didn't have to.
Yeah,
You would have been disqualified.
yeah, they would have.
Just
I
So
know, I
what,
saw
make a
Lando go,
point?
fuck the rules, bro.
Just to make a point? Like, good for... Like, you... Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Those
Good
tires
race.
were still working,
Yeah. Good for
and
him.
he was not losing pace.
No,
Yeah.
good for him. And honestly, good for Lando. Good for George. Good for...
Bad for Aston Martin, though.
Yeah.
Bad weekend.
Bad weekend.
It's been a bad time. They're still at 0
DNFs
points.
and Stroll got a 5-second penalty for swerving on the straights and dropped.
Fucking
like 5
Latifi,
places.
man.
Tiffy out here picking champions.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Whew, have fun, baby.
Stroll did not drive particularly well last week.
No.
No. This week, I have not had a lot of time to consume stuff. I was working a lot on the interviews. I'm continuing to watch Winning Time. I think it's great. It's definitely controversial. I will say that. There's some that not a lot of people look good on this show.
Ooh.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Tracy Letts, in his performance on that show, just makes me want to go see The Minutes. Because he's in
Ooh,
it
yeah.
and he wrote it.
I want to see
I'm
that.
trying to consume more Broadway. I really want to go see How I Learned to Drive. I really want to
Yes.
see The Minutes.
Yeah.
When Daddy eventually comes to Broadway, I really want to see that because
Yes.
it's currently at the West End. Jeremy O'Harris's new play.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a lot more that I want to see, too.
I showed my mom the first 2 episodes of Moon Knight. Still super interested in it. I'm still in the same kind of mental place that I was when I first started the show,
Yeah.
but we'll see if episode 3 starts to change my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think I played a little bit of Slay the Spire because I'm still really enjoying it. It's a great talk myself into bed game. Dropout TV. For those of you that don't know, I'm a huge Dropout TV advocate. I think it's a great streaming service. It's what College Humor basically turned into when they were bought by Sam Reich. Has a new show that premiered on Monday called Dirty Laundry. It's 4 people sit down and have a conversation, and the host basically reads out so-and-so did this. It's like, one of you shot a softcore porn. One of you almost died from a nosebleed.
And they have to figure out who's
They have to try and convince each other. If it's yours, you have to convince everyone it's someone else, and if it's someone else, you have to try and figure out who it is. If you're
Cool.
able to dissuade everybody, then you get 3 points. If you're able to guess, you get a point. It was just super fun.
Yeah,
It was a
that's fun.
fun, kind of comedy show. There's also a drinking element to it, so every week the bartender, Grant,
Oh, Grant's the bartender. Good
Yeah.
for him.
does a new drink of the week. He did Spanish coffee this week, which he called his favorite daytime drink, which I was like, there's a lot of alcohol in that for it to be a daytime drink. And I just want to make sure that I name the host because I'm blanking on her name, but she's absolutely hilarious. Lily Dew is the host of that. She's also a College Humor alum. Very funny. The first episode had Sam Reich and Katie Maravich, who I absolutely love. And it was super funny, so check that out. I'm still watching Starstruck Odyssey, which is my favorite Dimension 20 season thus far. D&D, but much shorter than Critical Role. Edited, so it's not live, and with a lot of like cutaways and like showing this season especially, there's a lot of like animated combat, so it's like it's showing
cool.
like the figurines like fighting in an animated arena or like in an animated world. Super cool. Very like Star Trek, Star Wars, that like we're journeying across the galaxy, much more Star Trek. I think if you like Below Deck, the animated Star Trek series, which is much more about like the
funny side of
Star Trek, it's much more that. It's much more like the bozos running the ship and trying to like make a name for themselves.
Love it.
I find it delightful. I think definitely check that out. That's about it in terms of things that I'm consuming for this week. I'm hopeful that I'm able to get to the theater to see The Northman, because I think it looks so good. Yeah. Very excited. New stuff coming.
Cool.
Apparently, sorry, just because we were talking about running to the theater, apparently the rest of the Fantastic Beasts series hinges on the performance of Secrets of Dumbledore.
Okay, so we gotta go see it.
It's getting not the best reviews.
Let's see it. Let's still see it.
Okay. I'm down to see it. I'm down to check it out.
You don't have to come.
My mom wants to see it, so we can go see it.
You're right, I don't have to come. I'll come see Northman, though.
I heard Mads was great.
Of course,
I
Mads
love
is great in
Mads.
everything he does.
Daddy.
We'll see. We'll see.
No, that's the play by Jeremy O'Harris.
Nice. Anyway, I believe that's it for us.
Yes, sir.
This has been the Black Wolves Packcast. I am Logan Riley Bringer.
I'm Jeremy Van Suarez.
And I am Jacob Wade.
And as always, we'll see you on the other side.
Yeah. Stay Swifty.